The most dangerous prison in the world has no walls, no chains, and no lock on the door. You can leave it anytime you choose. And that is exactly why almost no one ever does. It is warm inside, it is safe, and it is slowly costing you everything. Comfort never arrives as an enemy. It comes as a reward. A soft chair after a long day, a familiar routine, a life that asks nothing more of you. It does not threaten you, it soothes you. And what soothes us is the hardest thing on earth to walk away from. Most people believe the great threat to their lives is failure. They brace for hardship, for loss, for the storm on the horizon. But the thing that quietly steals the most lives is gentler than any storm. It does not break you, it simply keeps you exactly where you are. The old Stoics knew this enemy well. We will meet one of them soon. Comfort sends no bill. It charges nothing today, nothing tomorrow, nothing you can feel. The price is paid in a currency you never notice leaving. The days you meant to begin, the person you meant to become. By the time the cost is clear, years have already been spent. There was once a traveler crossing a cold and open valley with a great mountain rising at its far edge. Night fell before he reached it. The wind cut through him, and so he gathered wood and built a fire against the dark, meaning only to survive until morning. The fire saved him. Its warmth returned the feeling to his hands, and its light pushed back the long shadows of the valley. He lay beside it and watched the flames, and he promised himself that at first light, he would rise and climb the mountain he had come so far to reach. But dawn came cold. The mountain stood gray and distant, and the fire was warm at his side. One more day, he thought. One more day to rest, and then I will climb. He fed the fire another branch and told himself that tomorrow was as good as today. One day became many. The seasons turned at the edge of his vision, and the circle of firelight slowly became the whole of his world. The mountain faded into the shadows beyond the glow, until he rarely looked at it at all. He was not unhappy, he was simply still. He had a word for what he was doing. He called it rest. He was only resting, he said, gathering his strength for the climb ahead. And it was a good word, a true-sounding word. It let him stay beside the fire for years and feel each night that he had not yet given up. Then one night the fire burned low, and through the dark he saw the mountain again, silver in the moonlight, exactly where he had left it. And he understood, with a quiet and terrible clarity, that he could no longer remember why he had stopped. The reasons were gone, only the staying remained. This was the cost, and he saw it at last. Not the fire which had saved him, not the rest which he had needed. The cost was every dawn he had let pass, every climb he had traded for one more easy day. He had not lost the mountain, he had lost the man who would have climbed it. This is the hidden cost of comfort. It is invisible because it is a cost of omission. Comfort does not take from you what you already have. It takes what you would have gained. The growth you never reached for, the self you never became. You cannot mourn a life you never let yourself live. 2,000 years ago, the philosopher Seneca watched men do exactly what the traveler did and gave the sickness its name. We guard our money jealously, he observed, and spend our time freely, protecting the one thing that can be replaced and squandering the only thing that cannot. It is not that life is short, he wrote, it is that we waste so much of it waiting. And while we postpone, life passes by. And notice, comfort was never the enemy. The fire was good, the rest was needed. The error was not in stopping, it was in staying. Rest is meant to restore the journey, never to replace it. The moment comfort stops serving the climb, it begins quietly to serve the cage. That is why so few escape it. The walls of this prison are not made of suffering, which we are quick to flee. They are made of everything we love, our ease, our routines, our small and certain pleasures. No one walks away from such walls by accident. It must be chosen deliberately in daylight. This is where transformation truly begins. not with effort, but with honest sight. Before you can change, you must be willing to look, to evaluate, to ask the questions comfort spends all its warmth helping you avoid. You cannot leave a prison you have refused to admit you are in. So evaluate honestly. Look at your days and find the fire you have been calling rest. Where has comfort quietly become a cost? What have you been postponing until a tomorrow that keeps arriving and keeps finding you exactly where you were? Name it plainly. Naming it is the first crack in the wall. The way out is not to despise your comfort. A man who hates his fire still sits beside it. The way out is to remember your mountain, to hold the destination higher in your heart than the ease, until the longing to arrive grows stronger than the fear of the cold. And then ask yourself one honest question each morning. The question that separates the traveler from the one who only stays. Is this rest or is this hiding? Rest prepares you to rise. Hiding only helps you stay. The same fire can do both, and only you can tell which it has become. Somewhere in the dark, the traveler stood. He turned from the fire, felt the cold air move against his face, and faced the door he had built his whole shelter to avoid. Beyond it, the mountain waited, and behind its peak, the first faint gold of a dawn he had almost slept through entirely. You can leave the fire anytime you choose. That has always been both the mercy and the danger of comfort. So before this day carries you back to your familiar warmth, sit for a moment with the only questions that matter. What fire have you been calling rest? And what mountain is still waiting just beyond the door?